Paulo, Aston Villa 3, Man United 1.
Yeah.
Bit of a humbling for us today, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, after so many good performances, I think to be fair though, like before the game, you said it, I kind of felt a bit flat for this game, and it kind of felt the same last season when we played Villa. I don't think we were great against Villa last season. It's a different season, new manager, you expect a different performance, but you could see, I mean, the likes of Delo, Martinez, players who have played so many games, we're missing backups, and we had that, conversation on stream about striker. KG believes we need just a striker to challenge for the league. I mean, I have to disagree. I think we're missing players in terms of depth. We don't have quality and depth. And yeah, today just showed how much we're missing.
Was it a humbler for us? Like you're saying, it shows how much we're missing, but
yeah,
also does it show like another just another gentle reminder, even though it doesn't feel gentle, it hurts.
Yeah.
But that this squad needs a hell of a lot more time to keep doing what Ten Hag wants them to do at a consistent level.
Yeah, it shows how much progression we still need to get to. I think we've had great performances this season, but it shows how much better we can get, because we've got great players in this squad. And yes, it did humble us because, you said it, every 6, 7, 8 games we will have performances like this, like the Cities, like the Brentfords and all of that, because look, we don't have the depth. And really, even some of these players we've played today, look, there's still a question for me, even at left back. You look at Luke Shaw today, you look at Malacia, we still haven't seen enough from Malacia in terms of, his consistency and what he can bring. He's still a young player, of course. There's still questions in some positions. And when you look at the likes of McTominay and Fred, in my opinion, who don't have that quality to maintain that level that Eriksen, Bruno and Casemiro can maintain in a game. And even them today, they weren't great today. Just look at the off-the-ball work. Just look at the lack of tracking the runners and the lack of desire to get back.
How much was midfield a problem today? What did you make of our midfield?
Big problem. We talk about chances created, and I think, yeah, we did create some chances today. But when you look, those goals were all because of lack of desire and lack of off-the-ball running and tracking your runners. That's what it was today, and we saw that plenty last season. How much did we see that last season? And it was almost a flashback from last season, but just with different players. You look at Casemiro today, sometimes his recovery pace wasn't there and his awareness of when to track back wasn't there. Same with Eriksen. Even on the ball though, the final ball wasn't there.
It's something that we have with him so much that we like about him.
Yeah.
And the last couple of games now, Sociedad, he wasn't very good, and today as well.
Yeah, you saw it today. I mean, some of his crosses are great, but some of his crosses are poor.
Yeah.
Consistency's not there. And you saw today why we missed Bruno, and you see why, for me, you clearly see why these managers haven't been playing Van der Beek. Because he's kind of a passenger in these games where, we had quite a lot of possession today, but Villa, in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, you saw possession that they had, and you saw what they done to us in possession. And when Van der Beek is not in that position where he's getting on the ball and in possession, he's a passenger.
In terms of going forward, can we dust ourselves down from this? Can we bounce back from this?
I think so. I mean, why not? Like we said, these are one of these games where it's going to happen. It's going to happen, Flex. I mean, we're not in a position where we can say we're the best two teams in the league. We're not. We're looking at Arsenal, Man City right now. They're the best two teams in the league. And even Arsenal, for me, they'll drop off at some point. Because even then, they don't have the depth that Man City do, for example, to play at that consistent level. We can come back from this. We play them again in the Carabao Cup.
Do you go strong for that? There's a game on Sunday, last one before the World Cup. Have to get 3 points, especially after losing to today. Especially when, you look at Newcastle as well. They're doing their thing.
Yeah.
What sort of team selection do you go with? Would you think Erik Ten Hag just goes strong? We need a trophy as well?
I still think what we've seen this season, he still goes strong. He still goes strong in some of these games where we think, should he rest some players here? Like we saw in the Europa League where last season Ralph was dropping 9, 10 players. Ten Hag hasn't done that. He's changed maximum 2, 3 players in a starting 11. And I think that, personally, for me, I wouldn't go too strong, because we have to recognise that, yes, it would be amazing for him to get a trophy this season, but we don't have that. Again, the squad depth is always an issue for us. And I think that if you're going to continue to play these players, again, Delo's missing for Fulham. Do you play him in the Carabao Cup? It's a tough question, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if he's missing for Fulham, then yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But then he's already leggy from just being tired.
So he's in a tough position where he's going to have to make decisions which hopefully for him work out, because some of these players are tired. Martinez, Varane's out, Lindelof, for me, again, a player you can have in the squad, but is he the player to maintain that level that Martinez and Varane do? Probably not. So I'm not going to lie, the Carabao Cup, who cares? I think that the FA Cup is still an option. You look at Europa League, is still there. There are 2 extra games in Europa League. We've got a game in hand to play. Again, you still got the World Cup where we need to see what players get back fit. So there's big decisions for Ten Hag.
So the focus for you is the Fulham one. You know, it's so important to bounce back away from home at the Cottage, which again we know not easy.
Yeah, I think top four is still there for us. We've still got a game in hand. Europa League is still there, and I know a lot of people don't want Ten Hag to focus on Europa, but that's the closest we're going to get to a trophy, in my opinion, considering the depth we have and the quality of players we're starting in our starting 11. So let's see what happens.
And Cristiano Ronaldo, what obviously captain today, and a few changes made from Ten Hag. How do you think he done, and how do you think Ten Hag managed it with the way that the game was going as well? Do you think he made the right choice, and what did you make of Ronaldo today?
I thought he was going to keep him on. We talked about at half-time. I thought he was going to put Martial in that kind of second striker position, which he did. Martial was pretty much missing, to be honest, but he came on in a game where we were quite poor. And I think in terms of Ronaldo's performance, what we've seen in the last couple of games is he gets one good chance in the first half, and then second half you don't see anything, which it just comes back to the statement of you got to finish your chances. But then again, he goes missing. I still think that final ball is a problem. So we're not even seeing him in positions that much where you should say, 2-3 chances in this game, you should be burying at least 2 of them. Like we see Haaland for City, he's getting multiple chances a game. We don't see that for Ronaldo, but even then, you look at some of that header should be scoring that, really. He should be scoring that header.
Do you think, absolutely, and do you think Ten Hag played it right? I know hindsight's great because you can look back and we've lost the game 3-1, so you can say no, but do you think he has? Do you think he with what he had, the cards that he had, do you think he played the right hand?
What, in terms of leaving Ronaldo on the pitch?
Leaving Ronaldo on the pitch and just the other, in general.
I think the subs really did nothing. Really, if anything, it kind of made, I wouldn't say worse, but it just kept everything at the same level. Luke Shaw done a quote after the game saying we were poor in the first 20 minutes of each half, and we were. And that's why we lost the game.
Yeah,
that's why we lost the game, because we started off slow and we conceded goals in both halves early on. So it just showed how we weren't there. The awareness wasn't there for the players. And I think that no matter what subs he done, I think he, like we said, quality within the depth. Fred comes on, maybe he presses, he's good off the ball, but is he good enough in possession to get you the ball to the attacking players? Probably not. He's not.
Fine lines, isn't it?
That's it. So the squad depth is one of the most important things for us, and we've got to hope that maybe in January Ten Hag gets a player. Maybe in the striker position is there, but is Ronaldo going to go Sporting? I've dropped down to Europa League. Maybe that was that link there. Napoli, talks about Napoli. He's going to stay. And if Martial somehow maintains fit for the second half of the season, he's probably not going to get a strike in January.
Do you think that'll be it now? With Martial, will start to obviously play number 9, start playing all the time, and
if he stays fit, if he stays fit, I mean, he's had 4 injuries now in the last 2 months or whatever. If he stays fit, he's probably going to play that 9 position. You will see Ronaldo play some games here and there, and this may just continue for the rest of the season. But unfortunately, we've got to stick with Martial, Ronaldo, and Rashford. We haven't seen really Rashford in our striker position anymore. That Ten Hag wanted.
It didn't work for him on the right, did it?
Didn't work.
On the right, it just doesn't.
No,
he's just not effective there, is
he? It almost seems like it just doesn't. It's not easy for him. And, when he plays on the left, it's almost natural for him to cut in and to take on a player and be very direct. On the right, he can't really do that. You expect him to be perhaps more of like he's a right-footed player, but you expect maybe more crosses from him, more creative side from him, which, in my opinion, Rashford is not. He's more of a direct player who can cut in and have a goal.
Thanks for talking to us, bro.